Hey, Lisa. Well, let's wait a couple more minutes and then we'll get started. And then the recording will be here to be able to share with friends, family, potential coaches, or whoever's interested. Hey, we're going to get started right away. We're just going to wait until 8:03, so 2 more minutes until everyone that's there coming is here. And if they miss it, well, there'll be a recording. I'm not sure if you guys can hear my music or not, but this is DJ Role Model. He has a podcast on iTunes that's free, and it's absolutely awesome. He makes new ones every month for working out, like their specific workout podcasts, which are awesome. And he actually made one and like kind of dedicated it to Morgan Rieger. He put her picture as like the cover for it and stuff. It's pretty cool. So he's pretty awesome. He follows me on Facebook too, so I love supporting him. I love his music. It pumps me up. Okay. All right, we are going to get started. So welcome to today's webinar. I am Kelsey Baczynski, and I'm a Star Diamond coach with Beachbody. I started coaching, now let me think, 22 months ago. And I started off my journey, here I'm actually on the next one. I started off my journey kind of different than some people. I originally started off by just kind of diving in and wanting to get my health under control and just feel good in my skin again. I wanted to lose about 50 pounds to get into the top of my weight bracket that my doctor suggested. So I started eating clean and healthy, and I started to lose weight. And I noticed, because I wasn't working out, that my skin wasn't tightening and my body wasn't looking quite the way I thought it would by losing weight. So as someone that was, a little bit more interested in doing some research and finding out what was best for myself, I started, kind of following people that were on the same journey as me. And I noticed my coach, Sarah, she was sharing pictures of her own journey. And I followed her, and I kind of saw that she had this transformation from P90X3, and I was kind of intrigued by it and what she was doing. But I was really, really scared and really nervous to reach out to her to find out exactly what she was doing, because I'd never actually told anybody that I wanted to lose weight. And I was really nervous about starting that journey and letting people know, because what if I did it and I failed? So, it was kind of like this secret that I had going, and my parents kind of knew, and Tyson kind of knew, but that's about it. Nobody else really knew. It was kind of on the down low. So I finally reached out to her after 3 months, and she actually said, okay, you can join my next challenge group. It's going to be awesome. We're going to have lots of fun. It's my first challenge group. We have a couple people in it. And I said, whoa, I just bought a workout program. I don't actually want one of yours. And she's like, okay, well, everyone's doing these programs, so you kind of have to be a part of it. And I was like, well, I just bought this program though, and it was $400, and I don't really have money to buy a new one. And I had actually bought it months before that, but I just didn't want to commit because, I was nervous. So she finally said, okay, well, you know what? Maybe let's find a way to get you started. So I said, well, okay, these are this is some of my problems. And I started telling her about, my stomach and everything. So she said, okay, why don't you try Shakeology first and see if that is something you like? So I actually ordered Shakeology, and I got it. I drank it for a couple days, and I was like, okay, I love this stuff. I need more. And then that's when I said, okay, let's just get me a new program. I don't like the program I have. It's way too long. It doesn't engage me. I'm not having fun with it. So she's like, okay, let's do this. Let's get you a program. What works for you? And I said, well, I want the shortest one there is, because I didn't want to have to commit, right? If I did a 45-minute workout and couldn't do it, I wouldn't have been able to move on, right? I was just in that mindset that I couldn't do it. So then I said, okay, let's do T25. So I got T25, or she's hooked me up with it, and I said, no, you know what, screw it. If I'm going to do this, if I'm going to commit, I don't want to fail. So I need something to hold me accountable. Sign me up as a coach. So I went from saying no and not believing in myself to saying I didn't have money, which I didn't have money. I ended up having to use my grocery money to pay for it, and just literally ate what was ever in the pantry for 2 weeks and drank my Shakeology. And I went from having no idea to becoming a coach. So here I was, someone that was trying to lose weight, get back in shape. I was in university. I had a full-time job. I had full-time classes, and I was just ready to feel good about myself. And I said, well, if I'm going to do this, I might as well help others do it too. So that's how I started. So I went from being someone that was kind of, holding back from life, shying away from really enjoying the things that I liked doing or wanted to do because of my weight and because of how I viewed myself. And I let negativity, I let people push me around because I was super insecure about myself, and I kind of lost who I was and what I was all about. So I was ready to, just go for it. So I ended up losing just over 50 pounds. And since then, I've gone up and down. I've had all kinds of journeys when it comes to eating and stress and working it out. And you know what? That's okay. As a coach, it's okay to be on that roller coaster journey, because you're learning the ins and outs. You're learning how to make it a lifestyle change for the long term. And because we're real and because we're human, we can help others do it too. So in turn, my challengers have actually ended up helping me. So that's how I started out coaching. From there, I went on to, you know, at first it was kind of like, okay, I'll just like kind of dabble in it. I'm going to be like kind of discount, kind of help people. And within about a week after going through some of the training posts that Morgan had posted, I realized, no, you know what, I'm going to be a hobby coach. I'm going to, you know, make some extra money to be able to pay some of my bills. I'm really going to help people. And that's where I kind of started. In around April last year, that's when I really started taking things a little bit more seriously. I wanted to hit diamond. I wanted to, you know, take my business to that next level. And I realized that, you know, I could make this into a full-time income and be financially okay while I was in internship this fall. So I started diving in. And then when fall came around, that's when things really took off for me. That's when I really started to dive in. And I was working full-time doing my internship and teaching at that time, but I just dove in every minute I had and really committed to what the coaches were telling us to do, and took that next level and really started to collaborate with as many people as I possibly could. So that's where I started. So I went from, you know, having actually 2 jobs, a full-time job, full-time school, plus a part-time job, and coaching, to now actually being a full-time coach, done my degree, done everything I need to do to become a teacher. And I'm doing this, and I'm making teaching into my hobby instead. So that is where I'm at. So what is coaching and what do coaches do? That comes up all the time, and it can be seen as really simple, and sometimes people see it as really complicated. But for me, I see it super simple. You know, I'm a coach because I want to share that journey with people. So I'm going to go in there and I'm going to share on whatever social media I feel most comfortable with. So for me, that was Facebook right off the bat, because that's where I'd already been kind of working out of with my personal life, right? So I was already kind of there. So I started, you know, talking about my workouts, sharing my journey, sharing what I was doing. And then I started sharing, you know, the success I was having, sharing, you know, even simple things, just pictures of my arms, pictures of my clothes as I started to be able to go down in sizes, just simple things so people could see how real it really was, right? I tried diet pills, I tried wraps, I've tried so many different things, and that just didn't work for me, and it didn't speak to my heart because I wanted to do it the real way. And so I started to just share that real journey and what I was doing in my life. So as a coach, it's all about connecting with people, and it's about being real, connecting life to life. So, for example, it's really easy to be able to go onto Facebook and just share things that you're doing. It's not always about Beachbody. It's honestly more about what you're doing and how you're living, so people can see that it's a real lifestyle change. My life is totally different now than it used to be because I'm more confident in my own skin and my abilities. I would never have went on my honeymoon with Tyson and being willing to go and do the cave exploring and swimming and stuff because I wouldn't have trusted my ability to be able to go, you know, walking down those steep steps and stuff. But because I was at that place in my life, I was finally able to go and do something that I'd always wanted to do. So your life starts to change. And as you share those parts of your life, people can start to see that. Every single day I find myself finding something new I can do, or I feel different about the world, or I start to see the world different or people differently, because we're surrounded by positivity, support, people doing the same thing as you. So your life starts to change, and you start to post about it and share about it, and you start connecting with people that are in the same place or looking to get to that place, and it becomes this really positive network. So that's kind of what the gist of coaching is. You're sharing your experiences, and you're sharing different parts of your life that you're comfortable sharing, and making those connections with people and you can truly build some of your best friends. I know a lot of coaches on my team, we've become very close because we have so many things in common. We all are attracted to each other. That's how we became a team. So it's really cool to be able to share those parts of your life and build those connections. So here's a picture that actually Autumn and I made for our last webinar that we did together. So you can kind of see just some examples. So challenge groups are one of the ways that we connect with people. So we actually support people through challenge groups to be able to reach their health and fitness goals. So that's an example of Autumn's challenge group post, and you can see that I have a similar one actually up on my Facebook today. I just put one in this evening. So just being able to connect with people, show people that they can do it in their house, show people that, you know, we're real people just working out and doing our best to make those healthy lifestyle changes. So we share through pictures on Facebook. Some people do it on Instagram, Periscope, Snapchat. There's all different kinds of ways. One of the best ways though is Facebook, because you can reach so many people. So that's an example. A challenge group too, just so you know, just in case you haven't been in one, a challenge group is a place where you support people, and there's so many different ways to do it, and you get to create it yourself, so it can be whatever you want. I personally have scripts that you can access to be able to kind of have an idea or a place to start, and then you can go from there and kind of create your own. I know for myself, I started off by using Morgan's and the one from the Bombshell Dynasty, and by about month 3, I had completely kind of made my own challenge group, and since then I've changed it 1,000 times and grow in the way I want to do it, in the way that speaks true to my heart and how I want to lead people on their journey. So challenge groups are how we help and support people as they start their journey with the programs that they get from us by getting challenge backs. The second one is sharing your journey. So just being super real. I know for myself, when I share things that are maybe my downs or the things that I'm having to overcome and showing them, you know, I am doing this, I am human, those go over really well. So around Halloween, I shared that the one day I ate 44 mini chocolate bars, and you know, it was really cool to see how you can connect with so many people, because often we post, you know, our workouts or what we're eating and stuff, and it looks or appears to be that you're doing it perfectly, but that's not true. We are human, right? So sharing those parts of your journey really allows you to become real to those people that don't really know you, right? They're following you because they're inspired by you, but they need to get to know you. So sharing your journey is important, and you share all parts of your journey, the ups, the downs, the success, you know, the moments where things aren't going quite the way you want it to. So sharing your journey is a lot of different things. The third one is the 3 vital behaviors. So as a coach, we have kind of 3 things that we live by when we're thinking about our business. So the first one is to be proof of the product. So show that you are someone that's actually working out at home, or using the programs at the gym through Beachbody On Demand, or you know, showing the people that you have progress, so they can see and connect with that and see, okay, like if this person can do it, so can I. So being proof of the product and sharing that experience is really important. The second thing is inviting. So inviting people to join you is really important. For example, my story at the beginning, I watched my coach for 3 months because she didn't invite me. I was nervous to admit to someone that I wasn't comfortable in my own skin and wanted to do this, but she didn't reach out to me. So I didn't start right away because I didn't know how to approach that or how to start that conversation. But I know that if she would have reached out to me in that first month, I probably would have joined right then and there, because it was something I already wanted. So people are watching you, but you need to be inviting. So pictures like you see under the challenge groups there are really important, because it gives people that chance to, you know, start that conversation. I'll get messages like, hey, I just saw your post about your challenge group. Can you tell me more about it? It kind of gives them that segue to just kind of jump in and ask those questions. So that's a really good way of inviting. Another way is just reaching out to people that like your post or comment on your post, or people that engage with you about other things, and just inviting them to join you, because you never know. You never know who would want to start or who wants to do it with you. So as a coach, inviting is really key. So inviting to your challenge groups through public posts and private messages are absolutely essential. Inviting also goes with coaching. So you're here today because you were interested in coaching. So I run webinars and event groups and sneak peek groups to allow people that want to know more about what we do the chance to actually find out. So you kind of watch coaches do what they're doing on Facebook, but you don't really know the background story or why they're doing or what they do when they're working from home. I get lots of questions now. Well, you do this all day? like full time? What do you do all day? So it's really good to do things like this so people can kind of get a feel for what you do and have a chance to ask you the questions. So that is what inviting is all about. So you need to invite to things so they can find out more about coaching as well, because they might want the opportunity to work full time. Maybe they have kids and they want to stay home full time with their kids. That's why I'm doing it. I want to be a teacher, but it doesn't allow the freedom I want. It doesn't give me the chance to be creative. And, you know, I want to have a family and I want to be able to be home with my kids until they go to school. So for me, this is a really awesome opportunity to build my own home business and to be able to make that dream of mine come true. So you never know who might want that opportunity and how it might affect them. Or maybe someone is needing a second job, but because their hours of their first job are not flexible, it's hard to find a second job. Maybe they always work till 6 o'clock, but they can't waitress in the evening because the shifts always start at 6. Or maybe they work shift work and the place they're applying to doesn't want to work around that. Or maybe they live way far out in the boonies and driving, you know, into the city an hour and working and then staying for a part-time job and then driving home is just too exhausting. So this gives them the flexibility to be able to work around their schedule and at their own pace. So you never know who's going to want to coach and how it's going to fit into their life. So for me, it fit into my life when I started for a totally different reason than it does today, right? When I first started, I thought, heck, you know what, this is a perfect part-time job. Maybe I'll be able to drop my second part-time job and have more time at home to be able to do homework and work out. And then it grew into an opportunity to give me, you know, the freedom that I really, really wanted. So that is the reason you need to invite. And the third vital behavior is growing as a person. So reading personal development, diving into that information that will help you to grow. Personally, when I first started, I was like, heck no, I'm not doing PD. I'm not doing that. That's, you know, that's for crazy people. I don't need to grow. And the truth is that's probably what I needed most. It's helped me in my life in so many different ways. It's helped me to be a better teacher, a better wife, a better friend, a more, you know, more in tune with myself. I find that I'm happier with myself. I'm more confident in myself. I have stronger friendships now. I'm able to, you know, identify when I'm maybe not being a good friend by not listening, or I'm not noticing, you know, that I'm not doing a good job at sharing my journey or anything like that. PD is about everything, and it's completely changed my life. So PD is really important, because if you're going to grow as a person, you need to grow in all aspects of your life. Physically, mentally, emotionally, it's everything. Your lifestyle change needs to be the whole 9 yards. So it's really important. So that's the third vital behavior that coaches do. All right, so what is Beachbody? Beachbody is a multi-level network marketing company. They like to say that it's a multi-level marketing helping company, because we are a company that is focusing on helping others. So our job is to go out there and to impact people's lives. So as a coach, you are helping people by running challenge groups, supporting them in their fitness, supporting them in their journey, being there for them to lean back on to get through to the goals that they want to accomplish. So we use social media, we use, you know, Facebook, YouTube, blogs, Instagram, whatever coaches feel like connect with best, to be the cheerleaders and the support team for those that want to reach their goals. The second part of coaching is growing a team. So if you're, you know, going from hobby to saying, okay, like I want to make this a little bit more past hobby and I want to start diving more into the business side of it, then you start to grow a team. And growing a team takes consistency, takes personal growth, it takes determination, and it takes hard work. Okay, this is what I'm doing. So I'm growing a team to help people have the same opportunity as I do. This job is a gift. For me, it's a gift. I would not be able to be thinking about having a family and staying home if I didn't have this job. Teaching does not allow that. I can't just say, hey, I want to go to part-time. If you're in a full-time contract and it's full-time all day, you can't just say, hey, I want it to be part-time. They're not going to change it for you. So teaching isn't that flexible. So for me, this is an opportunity that my life otherwise wouldn't have been allowed. So for me, it's changed my life and it's changed where my life is going. So it's an opportunity and it's a gift to give others. So as a coach that's growing a team, I like to give people those opportunities to be able to decide what they want their life to look like. And you know what, one day maybe I'll say, hey, I'm gonna go to teach full time or half-time or whatever it might be, just to do something different and to switch it up and still do this because I'll be more established. But right now, for me, this is where I want to be with my family and with my future. So it gives that flexibility, right? So it's a gift to give to someone. And as I watch my fellow coaches that have been doing it for 2-3 years, and I see that they're being able to pay off all their debt and they're able to stay home full time and they're able to, buy new homes or, just like get out of that credit card debt. It's really cool to be able to see that this opportunity can really affect your life in so many different ways. And for me, it allowed me to, not to have any debt. I left university with 0 debt. I went through my whole internship without having to get a second job on the weekend, right? This paid for my bills. And that is incredible because I really wasn't sure how I was going to do that. I didn't know how we were going to afford for me to do internship. So it's being kind of like a saving grace in our life because, my husband, he farms and he's busy and he has his money's for his own things. And for me, I couldn't get a student loan. And so I worked full time through university, paid for university. And I really didn't want to have to rack up, my credit cards to be able to do internship. That wasn't something I was interested in doing. So this has allowed us to have those things. And it paid for a honeymoon and part of our wedding. So it's just been that thing for us that never seems to stop giving. And it's given me the chance to be able to connect with so many people and really, really dive into my own personal health and wellness. So that's kind of what Beachbody is. To dive in a little bit more, Beachbody started 12 years ago. They started off with, creating programs and sharing the opportunity just through TV. And then they had a website and people started commenting in the little chat group, and slowly they saw that there was a trend of people that were just supporting and encouraging people to keep on with their journey in this chat. And they noticed that people that were engaged in the chat and the support were having more success and were being more accountable. So that's kind of how coaching kind of was born, and that was just over 7 years ago. So coaching hasn't been around that long, but it's definitely something that's on the rise as more and more people want flexibility in their life for their jobs and for their families. So it's something that is fairly new, but is definitely up there, and it's, it's a strong business now, and it's something people are making into their full-time careers. All right, so lots of people you'll hear will say, well, network marketing, it's a pyramid scheme. The person on top just keeps getting richer. That's false. So a pyramid scheme is when one person can get to the top and that's it, and it would be almost virtually impossible for someone to overcome them on their own, with their own success and with their own hard work. So if I think about it, okay, if I work really, really hard as a teacher, I can't become the director just because I work hard. I can work as hard as I want as a teacher, but it doesn't mean I'm going to become a principal, and it doesn't mean that I'm going to become a superintendent. Those positions are only for people that, have certain courses, and there's only one position. We all can't become superintendents. That's impossible. So that's something when I start thinking about, okay, I can work my butt off, but I might not ever get to a place at the top. I might not be able to ever, advance myself. So a pyramid scheme is kind of when you can't get to the top on your own, by your own hard work and own success. A multi-level marketing company is when we work together and there's different levels of being able to earn income and different levels of being able to get to the top. So every single one of us could get to the top, essentially. The way this works, so it kind of is set up like a pyramid. So you can see on the right-hand side that there's the little smiley faces. And what happens is, okay, so if I'm at the top and you get added on to my left leg, right there down at the bottom, you can see that you have your own right and left leg, okay? So you can start to build up your own business wherever on my business, it doesn't matter. But as I add people, they also go underneath you. So now my people help you, your people help me, and we all start helping each other. Now you're probably wondering, okay, it sounds like everybody can only help you. How can I become more successful than you? And the truth is the way the business is set up is so that way not one person can just become the top and the most successful person. The way it's set up is they give you team cycle bonuses based on a balance of points on your right leg and your left leg. And I'm gonna have to run upstairs. So what happens is if my right leg is growing, and it has double the amount of points, because we get little points, as my left leg, then I start generating $14 for every cycle. But what can happen is your right leg and your left leg could actually have a better balance than mine. And your coaches could be, helping you, and you could be helping them to become really successful together. And you could actually have more team cycles than me. And you can actually have coaches that are, advancing more than mine. So for me, I actually have coaches underneath me that are higher ranked than me, make more money than me. It doesn't matter. Your success is your success. It is completely reflective of your own hard work, and it is completely, we help each other, we train each other, we share ideas together, but your hard work will be reflected in your business. And you could be, a 15-star diamond coach, top coach, and I might never ever get there, right? Because my hard work would need to match that. My hard work would need to match what it takes to get to that place. So you could become more successful than me, and that would be awesome. I would love for every person to become more successful than me. So that's kind of the difference. And if you have questions about that, you can ask questions in the event, or you can message me personally or your coach personally, and we can talk about it more. But I just wanted to be able to kind of show how that works and let you know that you can become more successful, and your success doesn't always implicate how I become successful, because all of your points from both your legs will go into my one leg, which could make my legs very unbalanced and actually could or might not help me, right? So that's a little bit more further in if you're becoming a hobby coach, but I wanted you to be able to see that. Okay, my slides won't change. Okay, there we go. Okay, so how do you earn income? So a coach earns 25% commission off of all the sales on Beachbody products. So anything that is sold, and when we sell things, we send links, and it's linked to our account. Anything that is sold underneath you is you get 25% commission. So whether it's a sale, whether it's a challenge pack or a fitness program or equipment or supplement, it doesn't matter. You get 25% commission off of that. So as just, a hobby coach, that's primarily where your commission will come from, because that's kind of just what you're doing. You're just selling products to help people get started and have the tools to be successful. Once you go from hobby coach and start working towards, being an active coach that's trying to grow a team builder, an organizational leader, you start getting into these team cycle points, which I was just talking about a little bit. So you start to earn these team cycle bonus points. When you're an emerald coach, so when you have two coaches underneath you, you start earning $14 for every cycle. And as you get higher up, so once you get to a diamond, you start earning $18 for every cycle. So most of my income comes from there. As a coach, I generally go for 5 challenge packs a month. So I try to help 5 people a month. That's it. I don't do any crazy sales. I don't try to get, 50 people every month. I go for 5. And I help 5 people consistently start their journey and get going. Because if I have 5 or 10 people, then I can really focus on them and I can really help them and be there for them. But if I had 100 every month, I wouldn't be able to give them the support that they deserve. So it's only really 5 people. Sometimes you might get 10, sometimes you might get 15, maybe. I've never had 15 in a month. But you're just helping 3 to 5 or 3 to 10 people every month. And then, you start growing a team. That's where your income mostly comes from. As you get higher up in Beachbody, so they have these different ranks that kind of tell you how many coaches are underneath you. You start to also then get quarterly bonuses. So you get these bonuses for your hard work of being a leader and doing things for your team. So it's kind of like a little reward, like saying, hey, you did a lot of extra hard work for your team and helped your new coaches become really successful and have the the footwork they needed to be able to do this business. Good for you, because it's a lot of work sometimes, right? Like, you're helping all these coaches, so you have to, maybe put an extra hour in here or an extra 20 minutes in here as you, go up higher in rank, because you're helping your coaches be successful. So they start giving these quarterly bonuses to kind of, say, good job. Good for you for doing that. Good for you for being determined and following your heart and helping so many people. So there's 3 different ways to earn income. So that's kind of the breakdown of, or the gist of the income. And if you become a coach, you can ask your coach, or you can ask me, or there's videos on YouTube that even break it down even further, so you can know exactly how to earn that income. So here's kind of a snapshot of my business journey. So kind of from month 1 to 18. So it's not totally current, but just so you can see here. So in month 1, I earned $254, and I had helped 3 people. I had 0 coaches underneath me. By month 18, that month I earned $2,189. And I had helped 8 people that month start their fitness journey, and I had 23 coaches under me at that point. So 23 of my personally sponsored coaches. So from month 6 to month 18, I gave myself a 333% raise, and that was from being consistent and sharing with people. Okay. All right. So what does it cost to be a coach, and what do you need to know? So to become a coach, you have an $18 monthly fee, and this is for all of your back office information. This, this takes care of your business tracking, so who's buying from you, when they're buying from you, when the shipments are sent out, all that kind of stuff. It's all there for you. So you don't have to be dealing with people's money. You don't have to be dealing with people's orders or, their returns or anything like that. The company completely takes care of that for you. So that $18 is by no means like, it's a lifesaver. I would never have time to be able to do all that stuff. So I'm glad that they do it. It kind of also gives you that membership kind of to be a coach. So if you're a discount coach, you're signing up just because you want 25% off as a coach. That's awesome. And even with that $18, you're still saving so much. For example, if you're wanting to be a discount coach for Shakeology, even with your discount plus your $18 fee, you're still saving roughly $20 on your Shakeology. So why not, right? So that's kind of the first thing that you need to know, that's monthly. So I kind of explained that discount coaches, you have that $18 fee plus you still get that 25% off. If you're a hobby coach and a full-time coach, you also need to make sure that every single month you have 90 personal volume points of home direct order. So that, for example, would be like getting Shakeology every month. You're going to be drinking anyways. You're going to be hooked. If you're like me, I'm hooked. So I drink Shakeology every month. That's worth 90 personal volumes within the company, and that keeps me an active person. So that way I can be recognized for my hard work. So there's different incentives within the company for being able to have trips paid, getting monthly gifts or free clothes and stuff. So to be able to get that recognition, or to be able to get yearly recognition or rank recognition, sometimes you need certain things. So for example, the certain thing we need would be having 90 personal volume. So that's like getting Shakeology, the performance stack. You can do different things like getting the 3-day refresh with something from the performance stack for the boost. It just has to equal 90 personal volumes, and your coach or I can help you with that. And then that's monthly to keep you active every single month. So that's if you're wanting to be a hobby or full-time coach, you'll need to figure that out as well. So you can talk to your coach about that. But if you're a discount, you can get Shakeology per month if you want. But say, you're like, oh, I have a little bit backed up, I'm just going to skip a month. No big deal. That's fine. Okay. But as a hobby and full-time coach, you need to have 90 personal volumes every month. All right. We're running out of time here. Okay, so how can you become a coach? So reach out to your coach that invited you to this event, and they can help you out. There's 2 ways to sign up. Number 1 is to sign up with a coach fee, which is $60 Canadian or $40 USD. If you had a challenge pack in the past, you actually can get a reimbursement, and you'll only have to pay $10 then. If you want, you can buy a challenge pack when you sign up, and then that way it actually waives that $60 fee. And it also will waive your that $10 extra fee. And it's a great way to get your Shakeology back up and running, and it is a great way to just get another program. So that's what I would advise you to do, because that's kind of the best bang for your buck. So I just wanted to say thank you for joining me. Thank you for being on this call, and don't be afraid to ask any questions in the event. Message me, message your coach, whoever, and it's the best opportunity I've ever had, and I can't wait for you to join too. So if you have questions, make sure you ask them, because no question is silly and they're all valuable. Bye, guys.